everyone, this is Casual Fanatic.
Film reviews without the shoes.
I'm Luca, your casual viewer.
And I'm Cayman, your fanatic.
So, Cayman, what's up? What's new?
Oh, a lot, but
A lot.
In terms of, recent things, I actually, the past week has been pretty calm. At work, there is, the big project that I'm doing. Some of the other people on my team have been gone Wednesday through Friday, but they'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get back up and going on that. So that's exciting. Also, today is Father's Day, so make sure to say hi to any fathers in your life.
True.
But yeah, there's a couple other things that I'll save for a future episode, but
Nice.
Perfect. Other than that, it's been
nice. Hell yeah, we love that. Me personally, I got tattooed yesterday.
Oh yeah?
And I also did tattooing. So
oh
yeah,
wow, how'd that
it's
go?
pretty cool. Dude, I actually did
What
pretty
did
well,
what? Okay,
apparently.
so first, what tattoo did you get?
All right. So I just sent you my tattoos. I got a hand tattoo, and then I got a shin tattoo on my right leg. So two places that I've never gotten tattoo on.
A shin tattoo? That sounds painful.
Dude, it was actually painful. That needle was hitting my bone.
Why did you get one on your shin?
Dude, it looks fucking sick.
All right, so I'm looking at the hand one first. What does that say?
So that says Entwurf. It's a German word for designer and or inventor.
Okay, that's cool.
And then the one on my leg
is a fist punching a line.
Do you get
it? I know. Am I supposed to? Oh my god. Ridiculous.
It's so good.
Also, your hairy ass legs with your little shaved spot is hilarious.
I know. Just fully shaved. It's funny.
That's a cool looking fist.
Yeah, right? So one of my old coworkers at HKS actually drew that up. And like when she showed me that, I was still working there. And I asked her there, and I was like, yo, can I like ever get this tattooed on me? Would I have your permission? And she said, yeah. So I got it tattooed and I sent it to her yesterday. She said the only thing was I have to send her a picture. And so I did. She said it was fucking sick. So yeah. And then on KK, I tattooed a word in German. It's Schatz, and it means treasure. And I put it on her ankle.
Did you do like a practice sketch first, or you just went for it?
Nope, just went for it. Yep. She said the best way to learn is just to do it. And I was like, okay. Yes, and you picture that one too.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So I did it with a
You gonna start doing some more tattoos? Is that
I was thinking
your
about
new side gig?
I was thinking about it. Dude,
if architecture doesn't work out for you.
Yeah. Bro, I posted it on Instagram. I was like, my books are opening soon, guys. Dude, the amount of people that reached out to me and the amount of people that like followed me after that post was fucking insane.
Unbelievable.
Because like KK reposted it on her tattoo Instagram, and she was like,
yeah.
What did she say? She said, my sexy little apprentice as like a joke, and people were fucking following me, and she had to post again. She was like, guys, it was a joke. Well, like me being having open books is a joke, not the fact that I tattooed her.
Yeah, no, that part was real.
Yeah, that's probably the newest thing that I've gotten going for me.
Cool.
Next week I'm also going to Chicago, so that'll be really fun.
What are you doing in Chicago?
Well, it's Cameron's birthday, and he's been living there for like a year or two now. I don't know how many years he's been living there, but I haven't visited him yet, and so I feel bad, and so I kind of need to do that. So yeah, we're going there for his birthday, KK and I.
That's cool.
And then,
I've never been to Chicago.
Month, so, hey.
Have you been to Chicago before?
Yeah,
no?
Like a few times.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
I've never had a reason to go.
Just to visit, bro? You don't need a reason.
No, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of time to do just to go vacations.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, who knows? With new events, you may be able to take if you want.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that was a personal segment. What have we got going on today?
So today, dear audience, we're going to be talking about Dune Part 2, which came out this year. In fact, it came out on March 1st of this year. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, same director as the last one. All of the actors are the same. I'm trying to think if there's anyone new in this one. I guess Austin Butler is new. Florence Pugh. Christopher Walken. Léa Seydoux. That's all I can think of. A very small cameo by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I think that's all the new people. But yeah, everyone that didn't die in the first movie is in this one.
True.
Yeah, it had an estimated budget of 190 million, and I think it's still in theaters, so these may not be final numbers, but as of right now, it has made 711 million worldwide.
Wow.
So it's doing real good.
That's amazing. I mean, the reviews that I've gotten from this movie of people that have watched it, like before I watched it, they were speaking very highly of it. Let's say that.
I can understand why.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it. I'm trying to decide if I liked it better than the first one. I don't know about that. I think the second one has a bit as like if the pacing of the first one is like pretty even throughout the whole movie, like obviously like there's a climax and more things happen towards the end, but I feel like there's not really any slow or fast parts in the first movie. It all just sort of like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. And I feel like in the second movie, it's a very like the first half is a lot slower than the first film, but then the second half is like a lot more stuff happens in the second half than in the first film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. A lot more action. Less like storyline setup.
But the acting was all great. The music was still great. The sound design was still great.
Mm-hmm.
That Hans Zimmer score, got to see a lot more of Zendaya this time.
For sure.
We can talk about exactly, what she was doing, which is perhaps a little bit of a different story, but, yeah, I think it's still a really good movie. I don't know if I want to give it like a number rating, but it's good.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of along the same lines. I think I'm sure that I like this movie more than part one. I would say just because I liked the action more so. It was a little
Okay.
bit more fast paced. Granted, I did like the setup of the two movies in the first movie or in the first part,
Yeah.
but the second part definitely like grabbed my attention much more than the first one did. And this one is
Okay.
just as long in the first as the first one too, like 2 hours and 46 minutes.
I
Um,
think it might be a little bit longer even.
really, is it? Okay. Yeah, I
Let
mean,
me check. Okay,
it's a long
so
movie
this
either
one
way.
is this one's 246 and Dune 1 is 235, so it's 11 minutes longer.
Okay, yeah. I mean, close enough, but bro, like
Yeah.
with this movie, I did watch it when I was like a little tired, and so I did have to break it up into two different parts of me watching it.
Okay.
I was like 45 minutes left, and I was like, fuck, like I cannot continue this
No,
movie.
I've
I will
had
fall
moments
asleep.
like that where I was like, I get super excited to watch a movie, and then like 40 minutes in, I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep. I can't do this.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what happened here. I mean, we were roughly almost 2 hours. We were actually 2 hours in, and then I was like, "Fuck, how much longer do we got?" And it said 44 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Babe, I can't do this. I need to sleep. I'm about to die." But
the
yeah, overall,
the first
great
time I
movie.
saw it, I did watch it in theaters though.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah.
You'll stay awake for
So
that one for sure.
for sure.
Yeah, no excuse there. But yeah, great movie overall. Highly recommend to go watch it if you haven't. Definitely a fun
Highly
watch.
recommend, especially
Yeah.
if you liked the first one for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess let's go ahead and step into the Boxding Ring. I
I
think I
believe
went first last time.
you did go first last time, so let me change that name because now I'm going first. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Let's see. Um, I wrote down some names, so go me. W.
Good, good.
All right. So Paul Atreides with the Atreides clan, meets up with Channy and Freeman to fight the enemy, aka what they call the conspirators, to seek retribution for them having killed his family and his home base.
Good.
I feel like that was solid. That was good. All right,
You said
let's hear it, bro.
who is they?
Did I say they anywhere?
You said the enemy who they call conspirators.
Oh, the enemy who Paul and the Freeman call conspirators. They, as in the three people that I mentioned. I don't know.
All right. I mean,
Hey, I tried my
I don't
best,
remember
bro.
them calling them that in the movie, but sure.
Yeah, they did. They called them conspirators like 2, 3, 4 times.
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure. I can Google
Okay,
it.
mine is gonna say Paul and his mother, or no, sorry, I'll say yeah,
You already messed
I'll
up.
say Paul. Paul tries to um Paul tries to fight against some ominous visions while uh while fighting against the Harkonnen family while gaining new acceptance within Fremen culture, and his mother continues her work with the prophecy.
That was
That's all I've
long-winded.
got.
That was
It
a
was,
lot.
but sometimes they are long-winded. So
That's so true. We didn't mention like riding the fucking worms. It wasn't a big part of it, but or like the blue.
all right.
Yeah. Anyway.
The letterboxed review, or not review, summary, says, follow the mythic journey of Paul Atreides as he unites with Chani and the Fremen while on a path of revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the known universe, Paul endeavors to prevent a terrible future only he can foresee.
Hey, dude, mine was kind of fucking on it.
You got the first half for sure. I will say though, in my defense, the second part was talking about him trying to prevent a terrible future, and I said he was fighting against ominous visions.
You were,
and you didn't mention any of that part at all.
I know. I didn't think that they would want to mention that though. That's like halfway into the movie. Why would you?
I mean, I wouldn't even say halfway. It's like first third.
I mean, he always like had visions though, but then whatever. We'll talk about it. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I got the first and you got the second. What are we going to do?
I don't know. If you have any ideas for another tiebreaker, we can do that.
Let's see.
Okay. How about how much screen time did Anya Taylor-Joy have?
All right. I'll say 23 minutes.
23 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 23 seconds.
What? Wait. Who is this? Wait. Let me look at this person.
Yeah, you might want to change your guess.
Wait, seconds? Who is this person? Oh, this was her. Oh, yeah, different. I thought it was the different character.
In fact, I might even go lower. I would say 15 seconds.
Damn, she was in there real fucking short, huh? I'll say 12.
Okay.
Maybe more. I don't know. Wonder how much she made for this role.
Okay, this Screen Rant article, which I'm pretty sure is the source we ended up using for the first movie as well, says she got 30 seconds of screen time. So I was actually closer before, but I still beat you by a few seconds.
Nice.
But yeah, 30 seconds it seems.
That's crazy.
Although she did a lot of voice work throughout the rest of the movie, so she was only on screen for a small amount of time. But I think you hear her voice at several other times throughout the film.
Damn. We should have done one that was like, how much did the actors get paid for the movie? I think that would have been
Maybe
fun.
we can do that for whatever we do next.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I say it's time to take a little break, and then we will be back with a little spoiler section.
Let's do it.
Please. No, this is the spoiler section. If you don't want this movie spoiled, don't listen.
You cut out for a little bit there, but there were some weird noises happening.
There was a lot happening here. I hit a button and it went crazy. I've never hit this. Do you hear that? That is crazy
Yeah.
sounding.
Hello.
Oy, oy, oy. Do you hear me? What up?
I do. Yep.
You're gonna have to cut that part out because I'm wearing underwear and I think it may have been in the camera. Just letting you know.
I was planning on cutting it down anyway.
Bro, my fucking cat put a hairball on my stairs, man. Like, I felt the vibrations of her, like, going, like, you know, that thing? I, like, felt it. And heard it. Jesus.
Yeah.
I had to clean it up.
Hairballs aren't fun.
Yeah. This was a smelly one, too. Oh, well. Alrighty, well.
Well, anyway,
now that we're
in spoilers, where do you want to start?
Let's see. I kind of, one of the coolest things that I like enjoyed about the movie was what they did with like the dead, where they attached like tubes to the suit and somehow like the suit sucked like all the water out of the person. I thought that was really interesting of like how they did that, and then how they showed them the like big lake pond area of all their dead and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that
but
was
they only
cool.
do only Fremen water gets put into that pool.
Right.
Because they were also at the beginning of the movie they sucked down some Harkonnen soldiers, but they said they're going to use their water for the cooling system in their suits.
For the filtration system, because it's dirty. It's dirty water or something like that.
Yeah, they said it's no good to drink, but it's good enough for a cooling system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Just like the thought of being able to take this a resource that's really precious out of a dead person and then use it potentially for your benefit.
Every time they did it, I was trying to imagine, like, I wonder what does that body look like after all of the water's been sucked out?
I thought the same thing. To me, it became like more shriveled. Like a shriveled little pear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of how I thought of it. But I thought that was probably like one of the most interesting parts of Dune 2 as a whole, ingenuity-wise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought just the whole, like, I don't know, looking into the Fremen culture a bit more was really nice. I do have one question which I'm not quite sure about. I have some ideas though, but I'm like, I wonder what, like, because they're so precious with their fluids, what, like, what is sexy time like for them? Like, because there's a lot of liquids happening, and people, like, there's a pretty short sex scene here with Chani and Paul, but like both of them are sweaty, and I'm like, are they gonna collect all that sweat? Like, what are they doing?
Collect that? Like... True. I mean, didn't Zendaya have a sex scene in this too? Kind of, right?
Yeah, that's who Chani is. Zendaya.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. What did she say in that scene? She said something about like they're gonna get in trouble because they're not conserving or something like that. What was that? I'm pretty sure she mentioned the fact that like.
I think she said they were gonna get in trouble for something else.
Oh.
Because then Paul was like, "Oh, I'll talk to whoever." I don't even remember what they were talking about. It was something not related to them though.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't know about, but that's a good point. interesting that they can, everything else they have to be so conservative with, and then here
But also,
it's like,
so I think because I'm pretty sure when they were doing that, they were in a tent, and I think their tents also have water collection technology. So like as the sweat evaporates off of them, the tent would collect that water.
that would actually make sense. Yeah, very true. Very true. Bro,
I would
that's such a cool
imagine,
fucking
though,
idea,
not to get too dirty, but I'd imagine that means all of the Fremen are swallowers.
Yes,
Can't be
absolutely.
spinning that shit back out. It's a waste.
Oh, absolutely not. Wasn't there one scene where like, yeah, the mom was crying or something, and then like they wiped the tear from the mom's like face and like sucked it or like put it in their mouth?
Yeah. Stilgar
happened,
did that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking wild
It was
and
like
weird.
never.
But,
He was like, never give your water away for free.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck, dude? It's crazy. Yeah. What did you think about the poison scene where they have this mystery blue liquid, which we later find out is something from the inside of a worm?
Yeah, it's like they drown a worm and then shove a giant needle down its throat and suck something out of there.
Yeah, yeah. What did you think of that? Like both the act of getting the blue liquid and then ingesting the blue liquid.
I mean, it's definitely like a very intense scene both times that it happens. It's a little. I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say it's more. I think when Jessica, excuse me, I think when Jessica did it, it felt a lot more intense, even though it should have been more intense for Paul because it's supposedly lethal to men.
I agree with that. That was actually kind of like a letdown. The fact that we saw so little of what was happening to him. Like I feel like they made such a big deal out of it, and they were like, "Oh, like men can't do this; they're gonna die." And then they didn't want him to do it, and then he like basically told him, to give it to him. But then we never really saw much of like what it did to him. Like with the mother,
we saw a lot of like inside his mind what was happening, but we didn't see what was happening with his body.
Right. And I feel like that's like the interesting part, though, because I mean, in your mind is one thing, but it can kill you. And for like the mom, we saw what it was like doing like around the fetus, like in her body, like the blue liquid is kind of like
yeah. And so that's the other thing is that's why that's why the fetus can talk after that point is because of getting exposed to that. Yeah.
No way. Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's why there's like a psychic connection between her and Jessica, and also Paul is able to like have like foresight conversations with her, is because she also was like affected by the poison.
That shit is crazy. I don't know how I feel about the fact that the mom was being talked to by the fetus. That was a little strange to me, in all honesty.
It was for sure a little
kind
weird.
of like that seemed like a pro-life kind of, thing that they wanted to throw into the movie.
Like, yeah, there's a whole person inside of there.
Yeah. It's like this little fucking undeveloped fucking little seed, and it can talk, like, oh, it can think, although the brain technically hasn't even developed. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
don't get me started.
It's a make-believe movie.
It is a make-believe movie, but you know damn well that some Christians watch that and they're like, "Oh, pro-life, yeah."
Honestly, I don't know. I feel this feels like the kind of movie that would be like for super intense Christians might be a no-go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kind of like those kind of people that are like, don't let their kids watch Harry Potter because they're doing magic.
Bro, right? All right, that shit I never understood. They thought like Harry Potter of all things was like, oh, like, you know, the devil and not good and
Like,
not very
we
Christian.
we don't support witchcraft. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, bro, you literally believe in a guy that came back to life and then moved a fat ass rock and like whatever, whatever. Dude,
Yeah, coming back
sorry
from the
for
dead,
any
easy
Christians
part.
watching.
Moving that rock, wild. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't really got any. I haven't read any strong Christian reviews of the Dune series yet, but in my heart it feels like something that they might not jive with.
Yeah, probably not. Especially when she drank the blue liquid and then the witches were like, "She's pregnant. We shouldn't have done this." I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They were like so shocked. I was like, that's not on your voucher before you give someone a deadly liquid? What's wrong with you?
Like, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Are you pregnant? Yes, no.
Do you have
If
any?
not,
Do you have any pre-existing conditions?
exactly, bro. Like, pregnancy is like one of those things you should just ask about. Honestly, bad on the fucking mom for doing that because she knew. So
Well, she obviously didn't care that much. She was like,
she
"Listen, I'm
definitely did
trying to
not,
be
yeah.
powerful mom lady. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck."
Yeah, which was weird. Like, what did she even do? You know? Like, she had all these, like, tattoos on her face all of a sudden. But, like, I don't know exactly,
Yeah, I think
like,
that
what
was
her
just
role was.
I think she, well, because at first she didn't want to. They kind of forced her into it, because you remember the Stilgar was talking to her. It was like, "Hey, our Reverend Mother is old.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
gonna die
yeah.
soon. We want you to be the new one." And she was like, "Well, what if I say no?" And he was like, "Well, then I guess we don't have any reason to keep you here. So just,
Yeah.
put you back out in the desert."
That's crazy. Either we kill you or you become the most powerful person we know. What a fucking
Yeah.
polar opposite.
Well, technically, only most powerful for the believers, because that's another thing, is we see that not all of the Fremen are into this whole like Paul is our savior thing. A
That's
lot
true,
of
yeah.
them, including Chani, are sort of like kind of make fun of them a little bit, which I don't
And
know. I
Zendaya.
found was a little. I already. Did you do that on purpose?
Oh, that is Shawnee. I always forget her name. It's
Yeah.
fucking Shawnee, bro.
But that was one of the things that I was like a little uneasy about, because I feel like in the first film, Stilgar felt like a very like he's the leader, he knows what he's doing, all of this stuff, and he still was respected, I think, by everyone in the second one. But there was a couple scenes where like he's trying to pray and everyone's laughing at him, and it's like, I don't know, it feels weird to have such a powerful character be turned into like the butt of a joke.
Yeah, I get that. Is that whiskey that I hear in the background?
It is. I might need to go shut him up in a second, because I can't have him meowing through this whole recording.
That's the first time I heard him. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, no, I agree with what you said. Yes.
I did another cool sequence when they were attacking the spice harvester that one time. There's two things. First of all, I think the burst gun is super cool. I might have mentioned that in the first movie, but just wanted to mention it again. I think it's super cool that like rather than a traditional machine gun, it just shoots out like 100 bullets at the same time.
Yeah, fucking
Just
crazy. It's just like all 100 bolts and reload your mag, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
did
also
like that sequence
when
too with the
Go ahead.
No, keep going, because you might be saying what I'm about to say. I don't want to take it from you.
Oh, I was gonna say when Chani shoots it down, and there's a absolutely great shot of her running and the thopter crashing behind her in this giant explosion. But, absolute beautiful shot.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was gonna go to. I was gonna allude to like smart of them for like tricking the copter into like opening its shield, and then her blowing it up, and then like that running scene with it.
And
with
then
it, like,
after
spiraling down.
they shoot down the Thopter, you see apparently there's like other Fremen like positioned out more in the mountains, and they like have these giant lasers that they start shooting and just take down the whole harvester.
Yeah, which that's interesting to me. Like, why can't you just do that off the rip? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you waiting
well, because
for?
I
Just
think
shoot the fucking.
because if the Thopter would have gone over and started shooting at them, I think it was more of a safety thing. Like, take down the defenses first.
Yeah. But if it's just one person you're sending out there to fucking blow the shit up with a laser, or 4 people, I don't know. Just
I don't know, man.
Fuck. Yeah, no, I did think that was a cool scene though, for sure. And
how did you feel about
see, like, the underside of the harvester? Little.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
How, like, it beats with like these little talons or whatever. That was pretty dope too.
To like kick the spice up into the collector.
Yeah. What were you gonna ask?
How did you feel about the first time that Paul rode a worm?
It was pretty fucking cool. I like the fact that it was like, oh, a grandfather worm, one of the biggest we've seen in such a long time. I don't know how
they definitely made that scene really tense, because there's the like joke at the beginning where that one girl is like, "Don't embarrass us, call a big one." And then once they see all the sand getting kicked up, Stilgar's like, "Oh shit, not that big."
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's a fucking biggin." No, yeah, I thought that was really cool. I didn't exactly know how it was gonna happen or like how they do it, but the fact that like it like goes through like half of the dune and then you kind of jump onto its, body is interesting.
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool idea, but like I still don't quite understand the fact like of how they maneuver it, because they did like steer it, and it was like by lifting up like the panels on its back or something like that.
Yeah, so I think the idea is that the worm has like kind of like nostrils a little bit, like where under those skin flaps is how it gets air, and so when you lift up those flaps, that prevents it from going underground, because it doesn't want to get sand into those holes, and so if you expose the holes, it stays at the surface. And then if you like pull to one side or the other, it has to move so that the holes stay above the sand.
That's true. Which is actually so funny, just because its mouth is just eating tons and tons of sand. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of things that I can eat that I don't want to shove up my nose. So
that's fair. That's true. Your windpipe, you don't want to breathe it in. That's a good,
right.
Good point.
Breathing and eating are different things.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, no, yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. And then the fact, like when he was actually, set on it and riding it, yeah, it was a pretty cool scene, because I think it was the first time that we actually saw the mounting a worm.
Yeah. Oh, and if you haven't, what was it? 65 was the other movie? Or no, 65 was the book. When was the 84? 1984 is when the David Lynch movie. If you haven't seen the scene of the sandworm ride from then, I'm about to send it to you, because it's actually hilarious. You are?
I'm watching it as we speak. Ah, fucking commercials. Oh wow, they have like super intense music for this. Yo, their worm looks so much slower too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the surface, like on the surface. What in the world? He's running next to it? Oh shit. What in the world?
That goes for our audience too. If you have not seen the worm riding scene in the 1984 film, you should watch it.
Definitely watch it. It is kind of funny.
It's just
I
like
like how they're
so
like grappling it, kind of how. What in the world? Okay, so that's how you knew about like the air holes and stuff. This is so much less cool.
I will say though, even though the writing feels a little funny, the actual worm effects are still pretty cool for being 40 years ago.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, yeah. And the fact that he
Like
like
all of
put a
the
line
wide
down for
shots
all
of
of
it,
his
like
people.
yeah,
All the moment where his buddy climbs on the top with him and they're like looking at each other in the eyes. Bro, that was kind of
yeah.
uncomfortable. That's funny. Okay, I mean that
One
was pretty
question
cool.
that yeah, that did arise with the this new worm riding technique of jumping on top of it kind of a thing is I want to know, because later on when they're traveling south, they have like a palanquin, I think it's called, but like the little thing for Jessica to sit in.
Yeah.
And there's like, when they're heading south, there's like 50 of them on a worm with the little like container thing. I'm like, how do that many people, and how are they like loading stuff onto a worm? Like that
True.
process I don't understand.
Yeah, true. I mean, they could fly down on it and like grapple onto it, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, like as far as I know, worms never really stop moving, right? Like they're not just like sitting there. Yeah.
Also,
Good
people
questions
keep
that
trying
are
to
left.
like say hi to each other. Like there's a point when Paul is yelling at Stilgar, and I'm like, there ain't no way he's hearing you. From what we saw, being on top of a worm is noisy as fuck.
Yep. Yep.
Like you wouldn't be able to hear. You wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like so far away, and they're like waving to each other and saying something. Yeah, there's no way.
I should have taken better notes. I have one here that just says sand battle, and I don't know what that's referring to.
Yeah, so I think I wrote that too. Can't see anything and they're attacking. That's what I wrote. Genius. I think that was when they like basically lured the conspirators into like that sandstorm after like blowing up something of theirs, like one of their main oh yeah, they like used one of the nukes and they blew something up.
Oh yeah,
you're
right. No, it wasn't
right?
No, it was before that, when they blew up a refinery next to the city.
That's
and
what it
then
was. Yeah.
Raban goes out to because he's like, fuck it, we're gonna go kill them all. And then they get there and there's like a huge dust storm, and you see all of the Harkonnen soldiers like walking through, and then people will just like jump out and kill one of them and then disappear again. Yeah.
Left and right, people are just fucking dropping. And the best part was when he saw I think it was Paul walking toward him all cool and slow and stuff, and then he fucking turned around and ran.
Yeah, he just started running away.
Yeah. Was that
but yeah,
when,
that was
like,
cool.
Did Zendaya or Chani, did she jump on his ship at one point and like try fighting him, and then he like threw
someone
her off?
else No, someone else jumped on the ship, but that person died.
Yeah. I thought for a hot second that was Zendaya or Chani for some reason. But yeah, that makes sense. It was just a random Joe.
Yeah.
Because they definitely died.
Yeah, because they got shot and then also got thrown off of the Thopter when they were like super high up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. Another cool like attack thing that I saw was like the flying mines. How like they would like come out of the blue and like attach to the vehicle and blow up.
They're basically just like giant magnets. So then as the harvester gets closer, they like start shifting a little bit, and then they just go and stick
straight
to the side
onto it and blow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought those were pretty dope.
Those must be some powerful ass magnets, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What did you think about that one time?
I did not realize that Gurney. I didn't realize that Gurney survived after the first one.
True, yeah.
I sort of just figured that he died, and then he shows up, and you're like, oh, shit.
You're like, oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, true. What did you think about that time when Paul was like standing in front of like all of his, Fremen people, and they were like, kind of like in disbelief. He was basically saying he's like the best ever, and I'm the greatest
in the like
whatever.
Underground meeting place.
Yeah. And then like they didn't believe him, and then he knew like this just random guy is like he knew like his grandmother's past and his name.
Yeah.
And that's like after everyone started believing him. How did he fucking do that?
Because of that blue juice.
Was it the blue juice?
It was the blue juice.
He did drink the blue juice. Oh yeah. How does that fucking work though? Like how you drink the blue juice and all of a sudden you know like all the past? That's how they explained it, but how would that worm fucking know?
So I think it's just because it's such concentrated spice, and spice is a hallucinogen, and so it's sort of a combination. Like it's not like anyone can just drink the blue juice and be psychic all of a sudden, but because Paul has had a little bit of Bene Gesserit training from his mother, and so he is he's more able to like tap into like some extra powers. Like I know what when Jessica took it, she said she was gonna gain all of the memories of all the Reverend Mothers that came before her.
Yeah.
I think Paul is also gets a lot of that, like being able to see the past, but he is the like his mother Jessica, she isn't able to see the future. That's like an only Paul thing.
Right.
So, but I think yeah, it's sort of like a mixture of being trained by the Bene Gesserit and then also having this like super strong psychoactive drug.
Right. Okay. I guess that makes sense. At first I was like, damn, what the fuck? How did he do that? He made me a believer. No, I'm kidding.
You're like, maybe he is the chosen one.
Yeah.
I did think it went so quickly because I feel like there's definitely like a bit of a lesson to be learned about blindly following faith, which I think is also part of the reason this probably isn't down with the religious people, but I think that you see hints of it earlier on, but I feel like for most of the movie, Paul is really trying to like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go south. I don't want to drink this juice. I don't want to do this or that or whatever. But then after he does drink the juice, he's like, nope, fuck it. I'm their savior. Let's have a holy war.
Right. And Chani was not happy about that.
No. And that's what I was making a joke about earlier is like, yeah, Zendaya has more screen time, but I feel like probably at least 70% of her screen time in this movie is just her judging Paul.
Yeah, just her being fucking pissed.
Yeah, just her like extreme side eye.
Yeah. You better not. And then she side eyes him. What did you think about the spaceship?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm thinking about the spaceship.
What spaceship?
That really fucking reflective sphere of
Oh yeah, that the
the
Emperor came
Emperor.
in on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that was cool. It was cool when it flew over the city, and reflections are beautiful when they're done well.
Yeah, yeah. They killed that scene though. That
Yeah,
sphere was super cool. Um, Granted, I don't think they did much with it, but that one scene with the reflectivity of it, I was like,
yep,
that's a cool fucking like spaceship finish for someone that's like, kind of the leader or the emperor of all the
yep.
people.
But going back to the sand riding scene,
Uh-huh.
I think that's sort of the moment when it becomes most obvious, where you're like, maybe Paul isn't the good guy. Because obviously they're all cheering for him and everyone's so proud of him riding the worm, but then some of the other Fremen like start like like chanting things that are more like worshiping him instead of just celebrating the achievement.
Oh.
And then you see Chani like look at them doing all of their religious excitement stuff, and then she's like, hold up, maybe this wasn't good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that for sure. Good point.
How did you feel about the arena on Getty Prime, which
The
is the
arena?
homeworld of the Harkonnens? Yeah, when Feyd-Rautha, who is the nephew of
Oh,
Baron Harkonnen,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is fighting those three guys.
And everything turns like black and white
Yeah,
in some like weird way. Like the light just makes everything white, no matter what color you're wearing. I thought that was
yeah, it's like
pretty interesting.
yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah, it was a little confusing the first time I watched it, because it's not like a clean inversion. Like they're
It's a gradient.
like their
Yeah,
skin is white, but then it also turns white. But then some people are wearing black clothes, but then their clothes turn white. But then
yeah.
Feyd-Rautha has black armor, but then his armor doesn't turn white; it's still black. So I'm like, it's a lot of confusion on what stuff turns white and what stuff turns black.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. I agreed with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I talked to KK about that too, and yeah, we were both a little interested in what was going on there. But no, yeah, I thought the
And
fight was.
those fireworks that are they're like almost like weird liquid like explosions. I don't
Yeah,
even know how to describe it.
they looked like underwater explosions for some reason, like ink exploding
Yeah, they
underwater.
look like ink drops.
Yeah, hitting water. Yeah, very interesting. And then they made a weird sound too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but overall, I think the fight was pretty dope. I kind of like that. Um, the the dad, I forget his name. Um,
Baron Harkonnen.
uh, yeah, Baron Harkonnen. I like that he like kind of, you know, made a challenge out there for his son and didn't, drug one of the guys, and it was a pretty cool
Yeah.
fight scene overall. And you
Well,
really
that's
got to
another thing.
feel the evil of like that one guy. You really felt
Yeah.
like he just loves pain. He just loves, anything around the lines of like just fighting.
And it shows just how much, because like you said, though, there was three prisoners that were fighting him, and only one of them didn't get like, I don't know, it was like some sort of weird paralyzing thing that made like half of their body limp or whatever.
Yeah, like
But
dexterity
there's
is gone all of a sudden with it.
yeah, but the guy who didn't get poisoned was like this, not like an old man, but like definitely an older man for sure.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how long they had been in prison, but I'd imagine they weren't treated very well. And so even this like malnourished old man is still like gets pretty close to killing him.
He
And
does.
it just goes to show like how amazing of fighters the Atreides army was. Because like if this guy on death's door can almost kill him, like a fresh, strong, like just got done working out, like there's a reason the Atreides had one of the best armies in the galaxy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I did like the part as well in that fight where the son like took off that shielding device that he had just to make it a little
Yeah.
bit more spicy. I thought that was fucking cool too. But I will say I don't think it was a fully even battle, just because the Atreides, warrior, he was like getting hit in the back by these other
Yeah,
dudes that were like hanging around. So I did think it was kind of unfair. So
for sure, for
maybe
sure.
he actually would have won if it was a fair fight. You never know.
Maybe.
I'm rooting for him.
Oh, there's also going. I don't know how we skipped over this, but the scene at the very very beginning when the Harkonnen are like chasing the Fremen and they're like hiding, and then they hear a worm coming, and so they all fly up to the top of that mountain, and then all of a sudden they all just start getting their heads blown off.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was like one of the very first scenes. Yeah. And then like you have Paul at the bottom with his mom, and all they see are like these bodies like thudding, hitting the ground.
Yeah,
That's fucking sick. It was very cool.
that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I do think that a lot of the fighting in this movie, well, some of it at least, reminded me of like the Pirates of the Caribbean, in the way of like the way the Pirates of the Caribbean like pop out of the water. The pirates. It reminded me the same way that they kind of pop out of the sand and start fighting. It was kind of like the same vibe of like, I'm under this element that you shouldn't technically be allowed to be under, but here I am, and I'm fighting.
I'm always just amazed at like how, I don't know, like how do you cover yourself up that well? Like I feel like I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no chance, dude. Also, imagine
And also
the
that
actual actors.
when they pop out, they're like very close to the surface. So I'm like, what if they get like the enemy is walking by and they get stepped on? Like, are they just laying there getting walked on and they're like, can't give up my position?
Yeah. I don't know. Also, just imagine like the actual actors, how much sand they probably have in their body, or like their ears, or like eyes, or.
Well, it looks like they all have like pretty insulating outfits on.
That's fair, but
like
dude,
they got full body suits, and a lot of them have masks. Oh yeah, I'm sure. That would be like, you definitely need to take a good shower after filming that scene.
Right, and there's so many of them too.
But like all the little breathing tubes popping out of the sand, and
yeah. I do like the little breathing tubes, how like they open and then they close. Kind of like like the breathing way.
That was like the breathing way.
in like the breathing fashion.
Also, I don't think this is in our trivia later, but just so you know, the black sun effect on Getty Prime, they filmed all of that with infrared cameras. That's how they got that look.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
And so in addition to being monochromatic, it also like it changes the translucence of things, because like infrared light can penetrate a bit deeper than visible light. And so like if you're looking at, especially on people, like their skin is a little bit more see-through, which like gives it like a kind of creepy look.
Yeah. True. That's sick. That's really cool. What an idea.
I also thought it was pretty cool. We got a little bit extra in terms of the range of the voice. So I feel like in the first movie, every time they used the voice, it was very commanding. It was like, I'm telling this person what to do, forcing them to walk this way or do this thing or whatever. But in the second film, it explores a bit more of, because there's different tones that you can use with the voice, and that's how the Bene Gesserit like sort of stay in power, is by manipulating things, and like you can suggest different actions without like telling someone. And that's why like there's the scene where Princess Irulan, who I don't know if her name is ever said in the movie, but the Emperor's daughter is talking to the other Bene Gesserit lady, and she is like, "It was your idea to wipe out the Atreides, huh?" And she was like, "Yeah, if I hadn't said it, it wouldn't have happened." Yeah. But then later on, when the Emperor is talking about it as if it was his idea. And so it's like this kind of thing where the Bene Gesserit are advisors to the noble houses, but they're like part of the way that they can use the voice is making suggestions to the rulers, but not making it seem as if it's their idea, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then they also have extreme, like there's a sort of a, I don't know if a meme is the right way to describe it, but a joking way on the internet to refer to the Bene Gesserit as sex witches, because that's also a very strong tactic in their arsenal.
True.
Is
getting impregnated,
using the voice to seduce people, and then they are like their whole like multi-generational plan is like having babies with different families and then mixing the bloodlines, and then that's how their plan to eventually get to the Kwisatz Haderach, which is their chosen one. But yeah, and so I think originally the plan was for Jessica to have a daughter, and then they were going to marry Jessica's daughter to Feyd-Rautha. But then she chose to have a boy, and so that's why there's like
distaste.
It's a little
interesting. Yeah, that's very what do you even call that? Well, manipulative is one word for it, but like planning the whole future based off of, that's fucking crazy. I mean,
yeah.
Good for them though. I mean, they definitely keep in power with that, and they gain power with it. Whatever. It's crazy.
How speaking of just as a character, how did you feel about Austin Butler as Feyd-Rautha?
I thought it was a good match. I thought it was cool. Yeah. KK really enjoyed seeing him as the character.
I thought he did a really good job. The one thing that kind of did take me out a little bit is I still can't quite put a bead on his accent. Like, I could tell, obviously, most of it was he was trying very hard to sound like Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Baron Harkonnen. But there every once in a while there was a line, or I think like I counted like 4 of them total throughout the movie, where he would say something and it kind of still sounded like Elvis a little bit. And I was like, man, he just really can't drop that.
Dude, he has big issues trying to drop that Elvis accent.
Yeah. And so then it ended up being this like weird combination where he was doing Stellan Skarsgård's accent, but then also Elvis at the same time. And I was like, this sounds awkward.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I wonder. Yeah, true. I mean, he's talked a lot about like him having issues like getting rid of that accent, because it's just like he did it for so long, and he really went into it.
He's a method actor, and I think he said for Elvis he was doing the accent for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And so it was just like really hard for him to stop after that.
Right. That's fucking nuts,
I did also
bro.
read I did read that he did a lot less method for this film, because he realized that if he did his full method acting, because Feyd-Rautha is such a dangerous character, he was worried that he might become dangerous. And so he tried to tone it down a little bit.
Dude, imagine you're method acting and all of a sudden you become evil. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's like a serious thing for actors. Like, I know, like, even sometimes just watching movies, I feel like a weird way afterwards, kind of like because I'm too deep into the movie. So I can imagine how it would feel to become too deep into a character that you're playing. You are that character.
And it's just like it's different techniques for different people, because I know there are some actors that are like super into method acting and that's how they do their thing. And I don't know, for some reason those actors always tend to get like a lot of praise. Like, people are like, wow, you're just like living in that character. But then there are other actors who like they're only the character on screen. The second the director says cut, they're just like back to being themselves. And like, it's not necessarily like method acting automatically gets you a better performance. Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if one gets paid more than the other. Because you kind of have to live in the character as one of them for a while.
Yeah, but I think that's more of a choice. I don't think they would pay you for something you're purposely choosing to do.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Also, the fight between him and Paul at the end.
The sneaky stab.
Sorry, is that
where he was baited?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of fucking hated the ending of this movie.
I honestly thought they were both gonna die. I was surprised that Paul survived.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought the ending was fucking lame. Like, again, it was just such a like a, oh, okay. Well, okay.
What part didn't you like?
I just didn't like it. I put in all caps lame ending. There was just something about it that just didn't sit well with me. It was just like, and that's the end. It was just like so sharp and so...
You just didn't like how abrupt it was?
Maybe, yeah. Like, it just was like, and the end, you know? Like,
huh.
Well, fuck, take me off like my high horse a little bit, you know? Like, don't throw me off the horse and say, yeah, you're done. Like, ride over. I don't know.
Well, I think it's just I don't know. I guess because we also kind of had a quick ending on the first one, I was just sort of used to it. But then also it seems like there's this whole like he starts sending the Fremen off world, and I'm guessing they're gonna go like take them to Caladan. I don't really know what that's about, but he said bring them to paradise.
And so I'm imagining. Or what?
I think they do have plans to make a third one because it seems like it's like obviously the beginning of this whole like he took over as emperor, but then they get the message from the other noble houses like, hey, we don't accept this, and so he's gonna have to fight everyone, and it's a whole thing. I don't really know, but I'm assuming they are gonna make a third one, especially because I don't know. It feels, I don't know. This doesn't really feel like a full ending.
Exactly. See, exactly. And
but the first one didn't either, and so I think I don't know. I guess it's more acceptable to me because it is part one and part two. So I'm like, okay, well, it's like it's one big story, and we're just like splitting it up.
Well,
I don't know.
I was okay with the first one because I knew there was a second one, right? But I feel like the second one, because we don't know if there's a third or not, should have been a little bit more telling, or like
that could be
leading on to something else, or just, you know, ending it in a better way to where we know like, oh, like that was cool, like whatever. Either they're dead or they're fucking alive, living a happy life. I don't know.
From what I'm seeing here, it seems like the third movie has officially been confirmed.
Oh, shit.
So
okay,
they are going to make a third one.
All right. Well, then maybe that ending will be better, but yeah, I don't know. I think the ending for me was just a little bit too on the nose. You could see it from like a mile away.
I saw some people online complaining because they were like, yeah, they said they didn't like the movie. Oh, excuse me. They said they didn't like the movie because they were like, yeah, Paul. I didn't like Paul. I wasn't rooting for him, and I was like, yeah, that's because he's the bad guy. You're not supposed to root for Paul.
Right. He's kind of not the. Yeah, he's a fraud.
Like he's manipulated a whole planet of people into following him. Like he's not good.
He obviously manipulated those people, you know, online too, like because they're still trying to root for him, although he is kind of not the best guy. And you can kind of see where he turns evil too, where his kind of like his view changes to something that it's not supposed to be. Yeah. Anyway.
And the speaking of Zendaya stank eye, but when he tells Chani, I love you, and then immediately turns around and proposes to the princess.
Yeah. And then Zendaya,
she's like, "Bish, what?"
Chani's face after that, And then I think she walked away or something.
Yeah, she
that's
just
a rough
left.
one. That was a rough one. He's like, I love you forever. Turns around, will you marry me? To some other chick. Like, oh no. Oh no. But yeah, that was it for me.
I had one more note, was the when the worms attacked the sort of settlement around the emperor, because they find each noble house has a collection of atomic warheads, and when he finds Gurney's like, I know where those bombs are. And they're like, oh shit. And apparently he has 92 of them, but I think they only ended up using 3 in the finale. But they used 3 nukes to blow up part of the mountain so that the worms can get inside.
Yeah.
And you see, like, all of the bombs go, and then all of the Sardaukar, who are the Emperor's army, are like looking at the explosions like, what the fuck was that about? And then all of a sudden the sand starts moving, and then you just see this giant worm coming out of the dust, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think they had like 4 or 5 of them.
There were a lot
just like
coming
wrecking shop.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a wild scene.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, great fucking movie overall. I mean, it
great
was
fucking movie.
Definitely a long watch. I will say that again. It was a long watch, but hey, I mean, it was filmed very well. It was filmed very well.
Ooh, I don't know why I keep yawning. I'm not even that tired.
It's that morning juice, bro. No breakfast, no coffee.
For real?
Yet, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't eaten. Honestly, I might make myself some coffee after this.
Yeah, dude. I like woke up, showered, and got on. Well, I talked to my dad, showered, then got on. Yeah. Sweet.
But anyway, let's get into some trivia.
Let's do it.
Just a couple here. First one is Christopher Walken, who plays the Emperor, filmed all of his scenes in 2 weeks.
Oh wow! How much did he get paid for it? 2 weeks of work.
Let's find out. 2 weeks.
Light work.
Maybe. Hold on.
I mean, he didn't have that much screen time, but enough.
According to this website that I can't pronounce, he was paid $200,000 for his work in Dune 2.
Damn, 2 weeks of work for $200,000, bro.
It's not bad. $100,000 a week.
It's pretty not bad. I don't make that in like I don't make that in years. Like. You fucking
obviously we chose the wrong profession. We should have gone into freaking drama class in high school.
Yeah. Fuck, man, that sucks. Good for them, but fuck.
Second, Denis Villeneuve said of Zendaya, she's so clever, but she shows but shows that she is brilliant and her strong presence, and she's always on set even when she was not shooting, just sitting between me and the cinematographer, listening and listening and listening. So I would not be surprised if one day we learn that she wants to direct.
Oh wow, cool. I could see her being a director, honestly.
Yeah. I think she could.
For sure. That's awesome. What good experience, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly,
exposure. Absolutely.
Just like getting that knowledge in there.
Yeah.
I think it probably does help as an actor to like see what the director and the cinematographer are looking at and what they're looking for, and like what makes a good shot and a good scene, and like, I don't know, having that extra information, I'm sure does help on screen as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if she's a visual learner, like that's the move.
Yeah.
You just go and sit and take it all in, and then advance your own career in that way, or your acting. That's really cool.
Third fact here, to keep the desert views as pristine as possible, the crew had to keep a strict discipline with walking in tight corridors in order to not disturb the sand with footprints prior to filming. And then after each scene, they had a special team that would sweep the sands to erase the footprints for the next morning.
No way. Oh, that's so sick. Yeah. Wow, cool. Damn. That's fucking sick.
And then our last piece of trivia here is, you had mentioned earlier Lady Jessica's face tattoos, but they are the litany against fear, which is that sort of like prayer thing that Jessica keeps saying to herself.
Uh-huh.
So that's what she has tattooed on her face.
It's a prayer on her face?
I mean, I don't know if prayer is the right word, because obviously I don't think that they necessarily believe in a higher power, but it's like what's a word for a prayer when you're not talking to someone else? Like a meditation.
Like a saying.
Yeah, like a mantra, like a phrase that you repeat to help you sort of focus.
Right. Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all of our trivia.
Fuck.
All right, well, let's hurry up and get through. Let's hurry up and get wrecked, and then we can go have some coffee.
Let's do it. I got an easy rec for you, just because I just got tatted by this person. Hit up. Her name is. Actually, I'm just gonna hold up her Instagram so you guys can type it in. If you guys are ever trying to get tatted, you can book
in the Denver area.
In the Denver area, yeah. Tattoos by Kaylin. Highly recommend. Like, just looking at the tattoos she does for people. She has some crazy cool pieces, super intricate and whatnot. Highly recommend. If you want to get a tattoo, get it by her. She's unbelievably talented, and yeah, that's my plug for sure.
Nice. Get someone out in like Ohio, like, hey, can I get a tattoo?
Dude, she has people traveling to Colorado to get tattoos by her. So yeah.
What if someone, do you think, like, if someone offered to pay for her to travel to them?
I doubt that. No, that wouldn't be like efficient. Nah, if you want to get a tattoo,
I don't know, if you got the money for it. What if it was like some rich person who was like, I'll I'll fly you out to come tattoo me at my house.
Nah, you need a studio, like a clean environment and all that stuff. There's restrictions that come with tattooing just because you're basically working in an open wound,
Yeah.
Fair warning, if people don't like blood, don't look at this, but my tattoo yesterday, my shin tattoo,
started bleeding.
Bro, it looked really cool. It was bleeding like crazy. Here it went. So they put this thing called Derma Shield on your tattoos whenever you like finish getting one. And basically, it's like a second skin. It's like this really thin layer that goes straight onto it like a sticker. And
yeah,
it's we
got those for our tattoos when.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember the one that I got. I don't know if it was Dermaskin brand, but it was the same sort of thing.
Yeah, like a second skin, whatever it is. But I bled through that. Like, the amount of blood I had pushed it down and out, and it went down into my sock.
Surprisingly didn't my B tattoo didn't it like it was leaking ink for like a day, but there was never any like red blood.
Oh, okay, that's good. I mean, you did that on like a nice part of your arm, so that's it usually wouldn't bleed. Yeah, like thinner skin is when it kind of gets more touchy, I would say. Yeah, that's my rec.
But anyway, so my rec, I had mentioned that I had one left over from last week, so I'm going to throw that in here now. Yeah. But it's going to be X-Men 97 on Disney. For anyone who has seen the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s. It's a continuation of that story, but it's, oh my God, it's amazing. It's like probably some of the best animated television, like, period.
Wow, really? Oh, sick.
It's real good, and it's on Disney Plus. I will say you don't need to have seen the old cartoon, but there are definitely a couple things that, like, if you haven't seen it, you're probably going to be like, "Huh?"
I see.
But maybe, you can find like a YouTube video that, like, a recap or something, just so you know what's going on.
Right. That's cool.
But yeah, it's amazing. The animation is amazing. The storytelling is amazing. They got a lot of the original voice actors back. Obviously, some of them are either retired or passed away, so they couldn't get everyone. But they got a lot of the original voice actors back, and the people that did get replaced did an amazing job. Yeah, it's such a good series.
Very cool.
And it makes the X-Men seem powerful in a way that I don't think most people are used to. Oh. Like, if all you've seen is like the live action X-Men movies, it's like it's a whole different ballgame with their superpowers. And honestly, even compared to the original cartoon, like, some of the stuff that they do in this new series, you're like, holy shit, that's dope as fuck.
Oh, damn, cool. We love that. Yeah, I'll just say I finished watching Shogun, which was your recommendation last week, or 2 weeks ago, or last week. It was a great show.
Whenever that was.
Yeah, whenever that was. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was dope. I needed more, though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Rex.
now you should try out a new show.
Yeah, another one. Perfect.
And I can't try out your rec because I'm not in Denver right now, but
nope.
maybe my next tattoo.
Yeah, you never know. If you ever need another one.
I doubt this will be my last. I'll probably get another one eventually.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Bro, once you get one, you kind of want more. So it might take some time for you to settle on something, but it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, it took me over a year to decide on this one, so we'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family about us. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell icon. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CashFanPod. If you want to send us a message, you can DM us, leave a YouTube comment, or send an email to casualfanaticpodcast@gmail.com. All of links to all of that will be in the description. Luca, why don't you tell them what kind of messages they can send us?
Y'all can send us any messages, like of shows or movies you want us to go over, reviews that you think, like your review of a movie that we may have watched, of something that we maybe didn't mention, or like things that you think can make the show better, or just little fun bits that you think would be fun for us to add into it. Let us know. Literally anything, positive and or negative. We're here for it for sure.
All right. Well, on that note, this has been Casual Fanatic. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.